Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous_. Alright, we're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram right now and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous_. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as y'all know, Irv Gotti recently went on Drink Champs and confirmed what the whole world has been thinking for decades, that him and Ashanti was in fact a thing at one point in time, sex involved, and he proceeded to disrespect her throughout the whole interview. Fat Joe took to his platform to express how he feels about Irv Gotti going in on Ashanti 20 years later, and Joe didn't hold back. Now keep in mind that this isn't Irv Gotti's first time going in on Ashanti. He actually went on Breakfast Club before as well, going in on her, and it's almost like he's low-key one of them Fatal Attraction guys or something, I don't know. Alright, now Fat Joe states that he was always around on tours, video shoots, studio, etc. Never seen them together like that, nor did he know of them having an affair, but at the same time, him nor the world needed to know that, especially 20 years later. Alright, and I agree, because ain't nothing worse than the guy that pillow talks. At the end of the day, what do a grown man get out of telling the world that he has sex with another female? Alright, now Joe says when you keep ranting and going on about somebody 20 years later, it feels like he's not over her. And I think that's already clear, because Irv Gotti got a whole wife and kids and still goes on about Ashanti. Imagine how his wife must feel. That's embarrassing to hear your man going on about another female almost 2 decades later, knowing he got you at home. Then, when he be revealing certain things, I'm sure she don't know it all neither, so a lot of it even be new to her. So how is she supposed to look at him after he comes home and hear or sees the interview? Alright, that has to be tough. But knowing a lot of these entertainers and these artists, at the end of the day, a lot of this could just be clout. You know, Irv could just be trying to get some clout using his old stories, because he just signed a $300 million deal for his upcoming TV and film ventures. Alright, now Joe also mentions that anything that Irv has with Ashanti is 20 years old, and let's be clear, Irv actually spilled some tea when he let it be known that him and Ashanti was in fact having sex. Alright, and if you remember those times back in the days of the whole Murder Inc., and if you see how Irv and Ashanti was moving, you could tell it was something going on. I'm not going to say that I 100% knew that they were a thing, but they had that weird energy between the two where you could tell that when they're in public, they're trying to act normal or look normal. You get it? But with Irv saying all that, now it kind of makes sense why Ashanti's career never really went too far, even though she had a lot of potential. You know, Ashanti had a few good hits, but it seemed like she could never get over the hump, and maybe it was because they was mixing business with personal issues, which almost never in fact works out. And in fact, I think Irv Gotti was getting paid more than Ashanti on her own records, because he executive produced a lot of those records, you know, which landed her to go and do a whole album over where she records a song, because what happens is now once you re-record the song, you know, you get a little beat change and you do a little bit of vocals on it. Now the song actually becomes yours and you get paid for it. But the problem is, sometimes a lot of these old artists, they don't sound the same. So, you know, it kind of, you run the risk of ruining a classic song, trying to make money off of streaming, and potentially damage your career. Or sometimes it could go the right way and it sounds good. But who knows? Now also Fat Joe brought up a good point, because he pointed out that out of all Irv's accomplishments, he called him a genius, because believe it or not, Irv Gotti discovered a lot of the greats in the hip-hop industry early on and had a hand in signing them. Everyone from DMX, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and he's even responsible for Ashanti's career as we know it as well. But once again, when you do things like this, it tarnishes your name, it tarnishes your career, and people start remembering you for all the wrong reasons and foolish antics rather than your accomplishments. So all your credibility and hard work gets drowned out by the Ashanti talk now. Just like when they was beefing with 50 Cent. Nowadays, when you ask anybody about Irv or Ja Rule, the only thing they bring up is the beef that they had with 50 Cent. And it's sad, because Ja Rule had hits, Irv Gotti also accomplished a lot as well, but that's what happens when you start to focus on the wrong things. Alright, now honestly, I think that Irv is a little butthurt that Ashanti reunited with Nelly. I think that's the real reason he's out here dragging her name in the mud, because maybe he feels it should have been more of him because he feels he did more for her in her career. You know, it's almost like an entitlement feeling. He may be hurt because he wanted to get back with her. Meanwhile, he did a lot for her, but she ended up hooking back up with Nelly, even though they split up before in the past as well. But let this be a lesson as well to the fellas out there. Breaking up is normal and it happens. You know, you can still love someone even though y'all broke up. But the minute you start bad-mouthing somebody's name and insulting their character, letting your emotions get the best of you during a breakup, especially publicly, now you done took it to a whole nother level. You know, and that's the situation Irv Gotti is in now. This isn't his first time talking about Ashanti and leaking information, but I think it's been blown up even more because of the platform he chose to do it on. Meanwhile, when you see Nelly, I can't recall Nelly ever bad-mouthing Ashanti after they break up in public, nor have I seen her bad-mouth Nelly. It seemed like they both took the mature route, so it's easier for her to go back to him because there's no in-between bullcrap. Meanwhile, if she was to go back to Irv Gotti, right, hypothetically speaking, she has to worry about how her parents feel. She got to worry about how her sister feel. She also got to worry about her friends, knowing that he said what he said about her. You know, these people probably got some type of ill will towards him, and you know, they don't want to see them two together. Who would? You know, especially if that's your daughter or your sister. You know, going back to somebody like him just wouldn't seem healthy because he don't seem right at all. Alright, so that's pretty much it, man. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know how you feel about Irv Gotti comments about Ashanti. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.